Have you ever convinced yourself that asking for help is a sign of weakness? Maybe you thought that if you didn't do it yourself, it wouldn't get done right. Well, when you've been through trauma, chronic stress, anxiety, depression, carrying everything alone can feel normal. But what if teamwork isn't about depending on people, but about healing through healthy connections? Do you want to achieve your goals, but anxiety is tripping you up? Like to keep those fun weekend plans, but depression has you counseling again? Hey, I'm Lori, dog mom, lover of nature, and hygge enthusiast. Positive psychology skills help me overcome chronic severe PTSD. If you're ready to learn how to overcome your anxiety and depression and rediscover happiness and purpose in life, then get your cozy on and let's get started. Welcome back to Practical Solutions for PTSD. We're going to get started here in just a second on our next installment of the Not Broken Equipped series, where we're going to talk about our next virtue, which is justice and the character strength of teamwork. Before we dive into that, I want to remind you that we are leading up to our 100 episode celebration. And so as part of that, I'm offering 20% off of your very first coaching session. And this is a fantastic opportunity to really dive into your character strengths. I mean, how many of y'all have taken assessments, Myers-Briggs, Colors, DISC, even the values and action survey that a lot of this information is based on? You've taken that and it's a really cool information. It helps you understand yourself a little bit better. And then you just put it off in the corner and move on with your life and nothing really changes. Well, this is where I take all those assessments and give you the answer to the question, now what? You've done all this, you learned all this, now what? I help provide that answer for you and give you customized tools based on your personality, based on your assessments, to be able to handle specific challenges in your life, how to overcome burnout, how to deal with your anxiety, how to overcome depression or handle your seasonal affective disorder, whatever that may be. We take those assessments and operationalize them and turn them into practical, everyday tools in your hands that you can use strategically, specifically, and help you overcome challenges that you face on a daily basis. And with this 100 episode celebration coming up, this is a perfect time to step into this arena and start addressing that, because you get 20% off as part of this celebration. We're having a flash sale. You get 20% off. Super excited to offer that. So this will be coming out next week. You just use the coupon code CELEBRATE100. You'll get 20% off your very first coaching session. And this would be a fantastic opportunity for you to step into this and start developing your own superpowers and your own specially designed toolkit to help you overcome the challenges that you're facing in life. A fantastic opportunity for you. Again, go to practicalsolutionsforptsd.com/breakthrough. Use the coupon code CELEBRATE100 and you can get 20% off of your first coaching session. So as I mentioned, we're going to be picking up on the Not Broken Equipped series and help you with the character strength of teamwork. And this is part of the virtue of justice. We're now on our fourth virtue. And let me just give this really quick plug. If this is something you would like to figure out what your own strengths are, what your top strengths are, and how to lean into them, you can go to VIA, which stands for Values in Action, viacharacter.org. You can take it for free. It's scientifically backed. Really good information that you can find out on yourself. So just go to viacharacter.org to take that survey, and it will help you out quite a bit. And the link's in the show notes below, along with a link to the list of all of the previous episodes in this series. We've been doing it since the first part of January, so you can go back and listen to all the ones in the past. Also, one thing I wanted to just bring out as a quick reminder, as we talk about this may or may not be your signature strength. However, we give you some practical application for how you can utilize this strength. Even if it's not a signature, you can develop this. If it's something you want to use, you can understand maybe some pitfalls that come with that, and you can navigate around those and utilize this strength better. So whether or not this is a signature strength for you, you can learn how to utilize this character strength to help you overcome, depression, anxiety, seasonal affective disorder, whatever that challenge may be, as we walk through some of this specifically. Now, in our coaching sessions, I tailor this to you and help really drill down into it and give you a path forward and check in with you with some accountability and help you develop that and help you to become the best version of who you were always intended to be. But today, we're going to talk about some high level information that you can still utilize and pull into your toolkit and help you to grow in this arena. So, teamwork is often portrayed as working well with others, or contributing fully, or achieving group goals. For people living with trauma, whether that be PTSD, anxiety, depression, seasonal depression, whatever that could be, this version of teamwork can feel really overwhelming and intimidating, especially if you're having a hard time engaging with people, you're just exhausted, you're burned out. It can feel really hard to even consider. So, we're going to look at it from a different perspective. Teamwork isn't about perfection. It is not about pleasing everyone or overextending yourself. And guess what? You've probably already picked up on this. We're going to be talking about boundaries. Again, it fits here as well. Teamwork is not about sacrificing your needs for the group, and there are their boundaries. At its healthiest, teamwork is mutual support, shared effort, and meaningful contributions. It's participating in ways that honor both your strengths and your limits. Both and mindset, both your strengths and your limits. We're going to honor them both. Sometimes teamwork is very obvious. When you come together, you have a team at work or you have your team in the family. Other times it happens behind the scenes. You may not see everything, but it's done quietly behind the scenes, and both of those matter. Both of them are still fit under the whole teamwork cooperation heading. So, teamwork is the ability to work with others toward a shared purpose while remaining aware of your own needs and limitations. That last part is super important. You need to remain aware of your own needs and limitations. If you pour it all out for the team, you have nothing to support them further down the road. And you can't take care of yourself, and you need to do that so that you can show up later down the road. From a trauma informed perspective, teamwork begins with trust and mutual respect. Trauma can make group interactions feel unpredictable or exhausting, but a healthy teamwork allows you to contribute without losing yourself, and that's really really important. You don't want to completely lose yourself in that team. You want to be able to maintain your identity, maintain your boundaries, stay healthy, but you're still able to connect and work together as a group. So it includes communicating openly and respectfully, listening with empathy, offering your strengths while honoring your limits, valuing the contribution of others. And this is really important, especially when you're working in a really diverse team, people coming together with different skill sets. Sometimes you don't understand really what the other character strength or what the other skill set is bringing to the table. And because you don't get it, there's a tendency to not value it as highly because you see your own effort, you see what you're doing. But sometimes because you don't understand what the other person is doing, you may not see all the work that goes into that. So part of a healthy team is valuing the contributions of others, even if you don't really understand what all goes into that. Teamwork is collaboration. It is not compliance. This is not where everybody's marching to the same drum, but you're all headed for the same goal. You're working together to achieve the same goal, just from different angles. Teamwork is about balancing giving and receiving while staying connected to your values. And that is so important. You want to make sure that your values, you don't lose sight of those. You keep a hold of those while you're working together in a team. So, how does this show up in everyday life? Teamwork can often look like things like shared responsibility at home or work, supporting a friend or family member through a difficult time, contributing to a community project in a way that fits your capacity. Again, I'm going to throw this in there. Capability and capacity are two very different things. So just because you're capable of doing something does not mean you have the emotional or physical capacity to do it. Remember, those are two very different things. So in everyday life, and at its healthiest, teamwork is going to contribute to those community projects in a way that fits your capacity. Another thing it does is it offers ideas while respecting different perspectives where you're all working together and collaborating. So, for people with anxiety, teamwork can reduce isolation. This is a fantastic way to build community. Now, this is really interesting because last week I sent out an email to my insiders and I was talking about the importance of community and how this was brought home to me just recently. And then I sat down to prepare for this week's episodes and I realized I was ahead of myself. This is exactly what I was talking about when I sent out my insider email, was the fact that we are intended for community. We need community. We need people. And this can help. Teamwork can help decrease that sense of isolation. It creates some structure and support and reassurance that you don't have to carry everything alone. You were never intended to carry this on your own. That's why we need community. We need people around us to be able to help us and support us through those difficult times. For people with depression, teamwork provides encouragement and accountability. Even small contributions can create momentum. I mean, just the littlest things. And I've said this, we actually have an episode called 1% Better, or at least that's in part of the title. But you don't have to go from 0 to 100% automatically. Just making those small contributions at 1% more counts. It's a contribution and it gets you closer to where you want to be. For seasonal depression, teamwork may look like leaning on supportive relationships or allowing others to carry part of the load while your energy is limited. Teamwork is about connection and contribution, not performance or obligation. This is not something where you're browbeaten into it or you're doing it because you feel like you must. It's all about forming a connection with the people in your sphere and contributing and helping each other together as community. And again, there is a dark side. And some of this, I'm sure some of y'all, I've got some smart listeners and people that are experiencing this. I'm guessing you've already figured out some of the downfalls of teamwork. And there's definitely shadows to that. And one of them, when you're overusing or misusing teamwork, it can very easily lead to overcommitment and burnout. I mean, this would be one of the leaders in that in burnout because you wanting to contribute, you wanting to help and to support, and you ignore your own limits, you push past your own values, and you give too much, and it leads to overcommitment and burnout. It can also lead to people pleasing to avoid conflict. So you're wanting to support that team, you're not speaking up for yourself, you're not speaking up for possibly for what's right because you're trying to avoid conflict and you're trying to be a team player, but you're ignoring things that really shouldn't be happening. Speaking of ignoring, one of the other downsides of this, the character strength of teamwork is you're ignoring your own needs for the sake of the group. Now, I have been there and done that. This huge mistake. This you do not want to do this because when you ignore your own needs and taking care of yourself, it's not long before you reach a point you can no longer give at all because you've exhausted the most important resource you have, and that is you. You really need to take care of yourself. The fourth one is that you feel guilty for not doing enough. This is another one of the shadow sides or dark sides of the character strength of teamwork. Is you feel guilty because you're not doing enough, you're not contributing enough, you're not giving enough, you're not being there enough for other people. So for trauma survivors, teamwork may awaken memories of being controlled, pressured, or losing your sense of choice. For people with anxiety, group situations may trigger overthinking or fear of letting others down. For depression, participating may feel impossible. And this could lead to shame or self criticism, especially if this is something that you used to do all the time and you can't do it anymore. You can really start, have that self criticism, the negative self talk, or the shame that you're feeling, the guilt that you're struggling with. Here's a way to reframe that. Healthy teamwork is balanced and reciprocal. And if you're not in a place where you can give right now, it'll come back in time. When you're in a place where you're healthier, where you feel safe and you can, that strength will return. You can contribute in meaningful ways without carrying everything yourself. You don't have to do all of it on your own, but you can still contribute. And maybe you can't do it in the way that they're asking in that moment, but you can offer, say, like, hey, I can't do this, but I'd be willing to do this over here. Or I really want this project to be sustainable and to last. And so we need to redistribute the workload so that everybody carries a little bit instead of a few carrying a lot. And that can help bring in some contribution from other people, build some of that teamwork, and while respecting your own limits. So, how does teamwork support PTSD, anxiety, and depression. How can it actually help you in your healing journey? So, for PTSD, teamwork offers shared responsibilities and dependable support. Yet positive experiences of working alongside others remind your nervous system that relationships don't always require hypervigilance. You can be safe in this relationship. And for this particular, people were very much at the heart of some of my chronic severe PTSD. And so sometimes forming a team became really difficult. And I didn't get it always right. Even after I had PTSD, I sometimes I'd still get it wrong. But I learned how to do better and how to have those boundaries in place with the team where I was being able to give, and I found a place that was safe and I didn't have to be hyper vigilant. I can let down some of those walls and trust the people around me. You can do that. For anxiety, teamwork creates structure, reduces the pressure to do everything alone, and reminds you that support is available. For depression, teamwork encourages small steps towards engagement, purpose, and connection, even on difficult days. For seasonal depression, teamwork helps maintain routines and relationships when motivation is low. And routines can be super, super helpful, and having those in place can really make a difference. And if you have other people involved in those routines, it's less likely that you'll give them up because there's other people depending on you to be there. Teamwork does not erase emotional pain, but it does remind us that we don't have to carry that pain alone. So, how can you go about growing and developing the character strength of teamwork? So, here's a few simple ways, I have four of them for you that can help you in your everyday life. Number one is to participate within your limits. And here we are in boundaries again. Offer what you can without overextending yourself. Small contributions still make a difference. So if you're in a position where you're dealing with emotional, physical exhaustion and you just cannot do it anymore, you can't carry the load you've carried before, you can back that off and still make some small contributions that do make a difference without carrying the load on your own. Number two is to communicate clearly. Share your needs, your boundaries, your strengths with honesty and respect. This is a great way to grow teamwork authentically. Number three is to recognize the contribution of others. And I've already mentioned this some, I won't get into it a lot, but taking some time to express appreciation strengthens trust and encourages collaboration. So when you take the time to tell someone, man, I saw that you did X, Y, and Z, and I so appreciate it. It's something I couldn't do myself. And man, I really depend on people like you. I'm so thankful for what you do. This can make a huge difference in your team when people feel appreciated. Number four is to allow others to help you. This is one I personally have struggled with a lot. I tend to be independent anyway, and then I've been single and on my own for so long, I just get used to doing it on my own. So getting to the place where you're willing to ask for help and you lean into that can make a big difference because teamwork isn't only about giving. It's learning to receive support. It is part of healthy cooperation. And I've had to talk to myself about this. I've talked to other people about this. When you lean into that and allow people to help you, one, you're allowing them to receive a blessing because it is more blessed to give than to receive. So you're allowing the person to receive a blessing by giving support to you. And when you let down walls and let them in, they will reciprocate often. This is often the result is they also will let down walls and allow you in, and it builds a stronger team. And the team flourishes when it's balanced, has mutual respect, and shared purpose, not under pressure or performance. So when you're not trying to carry everything on your own, when you're recognizing the contribution of others, you're communicating clearly, you participate in within your limits. This helps build a flourishing team that is operating in balance with mutual respect and shared purpose. So we're going to wrap this up here. And as we close, I want you to remember, I'm going to say this again. I've said it before. Teamwork isn't about perfection, constant productivity, or making everyone else happy. It's about connection, shared effort, and supporting one another while honoring your own limits. If teamwork feels difficult right now, that doesn't mean you've lost this strength. It may simply need the right environment, a supportive relationship, and opportunities to grow. So I'm going to give you a reflection, as I often do at the end of these. I love these things. What is one small way you could contribute to someone else this week while still honoring your own limits? Just take some time to think about it. What is one small way you could contribute to someone else this week while still honoring your own limits? When you think of it, act on it. Just do one small thing a day and see what kind of difference it can make in the people around you and the strength of your relationships. If you would like some help in mapping out your character strengths and how you can use them in your everyday life to turn on your superpowers, go to practicalsolutionsforptsd.com/breakthrough and schedule your appointment today. Hey, my friend, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If so, would you please take 30 seconds and share it with someone you know who may be struggling with depression and anxiety? Also, would you please leave a quick review for the show? Knowing how this podcast is helping you fills my heart with so much joy, and it motivates me for future episodes. For now, it's time for Sam and I to head outside to enjoy some sunshine and fresh air. We'll see you back here on Tuesdays and Thursdays for more great episodes.